Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, everyone, for today's session. So, like we meet alternative days for the morning meditation, today we are here for a special session. Due to various requests, we have arranged a small talk today, and specifically, we will be focusing on facing challenges of uncertain times. So, there were various requests that many of our participants are facing challenges due to the uncertain times, as we all know. So we thought, why not, in addition to meditation, have this Saturday spent some time understanding how can we face challenges. So today we have with us Sister Sona, who is the director of Inner Space Meditation Center at Abu Dhabi. So she's joining us from there. It's quite early morning at her place, around maybe 5 a.m. in the morning. So she's senior Raj Yoga faculty and a Raj Yogi since last 28 years. And she's also corporate trainer and speaker, professional translator and interpreter. So I welcome sister. So today we will be having around 30 minutes talk, followed by meditation for 20 minutes, and then we'll be having feedback from all of you all. So it will be around an hour session. So hope all of us are ready. It being a weekend, I believe most of us can spend some time, and I will encourage everyone to stay till 7:30 a.m. IST, so that based on your feedback, which will be covering at the end of the session, we can then plan future sessions. So without spending too much time, I will hand over to Sister Sona for leading us through this today's special topic on facing challenges of uncertain times. Over to you, Sister Sona. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And good morning, everyone. It's good that it's a Saturday morning and no one has to think about running to work, getting the children organized. This is one of the wonderful things of waking up in the morning and giving yourself time. Because as we know, during the day, we give many people time, situations time, and often the person who is left out is myself. So today's topic is a wonderful topic because it's so current, it's so relevant. The topic is about facing challenges, and the second part of the title is uncertain times. And it's really interesting. I was reflecting on that. You know, I sometimes have wondered what has ever been certain. Is there anything that was guaranteed? Yes, I do agree that there was a rhythm of life that was easier to work with, to manage. If you go back 100 years, 200 years, everyone's life was exactly the same. People got to school at a particular age, then they graduated, they got married at a particular age, they had children at a particular age. Everything was very organized, very systematic. But as life has moved on, people have become more and more adventurous. People have done different things. So 100 years ago, somebody was a pirate, somebody was a trader, somebody was a farmer. And of course, today, each one of us is like an island. We're so individual, and we've created lives that are quite individual, very unique. But what has ever been certain? If you're really deep and you're honest with yourself, how certain can you be when you sleep at night that you will wake up in the morning? Your health is good. You don't expect to have a heart attack. That's true. But can you say with 100% guarantee, yes, I will wake up in the morning? I don't think so. There was an earthquake yesterday, you might have heard, between Greece and Turkey. Luckily, it was in the sea, but we just don't know what is going to happen. And really, in life, when you think about it, it's always been like that. It's always been about change. Life is about change. Life is nothing but a chain of events that are about change. Life is a chain of events that are about change. And therefore, it's actually interesting how these days, just because the rate of change has gone up, it's created such a lot of unique emotions. I want you all to reflect back to March. I presume you were all in India, and at the time in March, I was in India too. Just take your mind back to that month. And towards the end of March, do you remember Modi ji saying, we're going to have 1 day's curfew? And then the announcement that there was going to be a 3-week lockdown. Do you remember that? I'd like you to just reflect for a moment, just 1 minute, on when that change happened, when that declaration was made. How did you feel? Just reflect for a minute. How did you feel? And then when the actual lockdown happened and you were sitting at home and trying to figure out how to work from home, or if you're a housewife, how to manage having the whole family at home when you were used to your own space, how did you feel then? And then the lockdown was increased. You remember? From 3 weeks, it went for another 3 weeks. How did you feel then? And in the meanwhile, you are hearing about the crazy numbers on the news. So many people diagnosed with COVID, so many people dying of COVID, hospitals overwhelmed, migrant workers walking home. So the change that we were used to hearing on the news, which was usually something like Donald Trump said this, or, Brexit is happening, or maybe in India there's a clash on the border. Suddenly, from one thing a week, it became everyday escalation in news. And now, what was the effect that was happening on your mind? The news was saying that there's a lot of change happening on the outside. And how did that influence your mind? Because you see, the point I'm trying to make here is life has always been uncertain. It's almost like we have held on to a sense of certainty. We have tried to believe that there is a comfort zone. And of course, who doesn't like a comfort zone? But the reality is, comfort zones can't stay forever. And when the comfort zone bubble is burst, the first thing that happens is from the outside change, the change starts to happen on the inside. It starts to affect the inside. And I think if you don't have a practice of regular meditation, or your practice of meditation is fairly similar, like every day it's the same, it's the same, it's the same. So, like when you go to the gym, you can start off with a simple routine, but then what should you be doing maybe after a week, a month, a year? One would hope that the body is becoming stronger, more flexible. If you do yoga, um, if you're becoming more flexible, then you should be able to bend a little bit more, do a few extra thousand steps, if you're walking. So as I become stronger, my practice also needs to become a little bit stronger. And what is the mind practice? If I have a habit of meditation, the ultimate goal of meditation is for me to be so stable inside, so strong inside, that any change on the outside cannot influence me negatively, cannot affect me. The response I give is up to me, but nothing can shake me. It's different to say, I see something and I feel empathy. That's a very good thing. I feel something, I feel compassion. But for me to say, I felt something and I was so shaken, I lost my peace of mind and I was anxious. So the ultimate goal of meditation is to come to that place of power, which for the mind means stillness. And so as times around us are becoming more and more uncertain, they always were, but the media, my own perception of what is going on, it makes me feel like things are being sped up. The uncertainty is more and more and more as life is progressing, especially this year. I need to counter that with stability inside. So it's a little bit like weighing scales, the more the uncertainty and the chaos increase on the outside, the more my stability, my stillness, my power need to increase on the inside so that the weighing scale stays balanced. I think what's happened for most of us is we take it for granted that what I am doing is enough, and so when the storm comes and the storm is something out of my comfort zone, that's where the challenge begins. If your gym instructor suddenly says, okay, today I'm going to make you do 1 hour extra, and you're not prepared for it, and you haven't been building up your strength, what will happen? Obviously, your muscles will ache. You may not be able to even complete what the instructor is asking you to do, or, to be able to actually physically achieve what you're being asked to do. But definitely your muscles will ache later. So what happens then is that the minute externally the world starts to shift, we all start to pump out extra thoughts. If you can imagine your mind being like a pump, and usually, they say that a human being has anywhere between 40,000 to 45,000 thoughts in a day. It's a non-stressed, okay human being. When you get a little bit stressed, maybe your thoughts would go up to 60,000, 70,000. When you are highly stressed, anxious, worried, your thoughts can go up to 100,000 steps a day. So now I want you to consider this. If every one of us, our minds are pumping out thoughts, and every thought is a vibration. Now imagine that most people are pumping out thoughts that are negative, that are scared, fearful, as I said before, worried. It's like we're living in this thought soup, and we're affecting each other with the thoughts that we're pumping out. And on top of that, the quantity of thoughts we're pumping out is also more. It's amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely amazing. This is what we've done to ourselves. And one thing is the uncertainty that we're facing, the changes on the external world. But I think the bigger damage that happens and the biggest challenge I'm facing is not what's happening on the outside. The biggest challenge that we face actually is the effect that the outside world has on my inside world. So when we say I'm facing a challenge, what are we actually saying? Am I facing the challenge on the outside? Sure, change is there. But maybe my greatest challenge is actually that I can't deal with it all on the inside. I'm becoming unstable, unstuck. I'm losing my peace of mind. I'm losing my power. And when that starts to happen, it's very dangerous. That is the place when I realize I need to do something. So the greatest challenge that we actually face is me dealing with myself. We think it might be me dealing with other people. People are stressed, people are unhappy, but actually they're affecting me. That's thought soup that I'm living in. It's like I'm drinking more and more soup, more and more negativity, negative energy, negative vibes from people. Can you imagine what 1.3 billion people in India were thinking towards the end of March, all the way through April, part of May? The amount of vibrational degradation. The vibes went down, the energy went down, and all of that started to affect me. In English, we say, right, I gave my power away. All the power I had, it's almost like I let it slide away, I let it slip away. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how to hold my power. So, what I'd like to do now is ask you once again to reflect. I want you to reflect on how you have been able to manage yourself over the last 6 to 8 months. What have you said and what have you done to manage that biggest challenge of your life, which is you? Yes, you meditate. You may listen to some spiritual classes, discourses. All that is good. But what was the self-talk? How did you manage to come to a place of peace, if you did? How did you come to a place of stability, of calm? Just take a moment to reflect. Could you find anything there, anything that helped you? So we have some lovely points that have come in the chat box. This too will pass. Yeah, it's like telling myself that change is inevitable. Things can't keep going all the time. When people think it'll all be well, it'll all be good. So I think one of the greatest things we have inside us that help us to face any challenge. And I'm going deeper than even meditation. Because there are days when meditation also doesn't work, when your mind is already stirred up, when your mind is already upset. I will just come back to one word. One word is like the antibiotic. It's a broad spectrum antibiotic. It is the one thing that will take you through any challenge. Whether it feels like the challenge is external, it's not really. It is actually the way you're responding to it. But of course, it's nice to feel like, oh, the world changed and therefore. And that one word is faith. Whenever you go through challenges in life, whenever things are like a bigger roller coaster than you ever took before, whenever life looks like it's going to present you with something tougher, then the one thing you can always come back to is faith. Faith that you have been looked after till today. Faith that even when things go very wrong, still, there is always someone, some way, something that can come and take you out of that mess. If you believe that there is a God, then, there's always that link, that connection, that feeling of love in your heart for Him. And if you don't believe that there is a God, well, there is a force of goodness in this universe, just as there is a force of negativity. And if I want to be influenced, if I want my mind to be under any form of being moved by any energy, why the negativity? Why can't I allow my mind to be moved by this positivity, this power of faith? Because my personal feeling is that we're living in times that are becoming more and more uncertain. So if I want to be able to face the challenges that are going to come to me on the inside, it's a bit like a tsunami on the outside. I need to have a stronger brick wall on the inside. And that brick wall is made up of bricks of faith, but it also is made up of practice. Every time there is a tsunami, whether little or big, the quicker I can apply the full stop, coming back to the point, coming back to stillness, the quicker I can bring my mind back to a place of peace, that I stop pumping out more of these thoughts into the thought soup of my family, into the thought soup of my work colleagues, into the thought soup of the world, the community I live in. The quicker I can stop my mind from going crazy, losing control, the more chances I will have for me to be able to, when I need, come back to stillness, come back to stability, come back to silence. And this is a very, very important practice. And it's also a practice that is needed, I think, for anyone who wants to be prepared. As uncertainty in the world goes up, my power of stillness and silence and stability need to also go up as well. And as I do that, the amazing effect I have is I start to stabilize others. It's like I can create a canopy of protection around the people that are close to me, whether it's my family, whether it's my friends. One positive source can affect so many. Even though there are 9 negative voices, the power of mental, emotional, and spiritual strength can give so much to those around. You don't even have to say anything. Just the energy can affect them. So if I want to face challenges in an easy way, in a way where I don't even feel like they're a challenge, it's just a little blip on the screen, you know? The blip comes, the blip goes. There are two things I need to do. I need to strengthen my faith. And to do that, I need to reflect again and again and again on my past experiences and how I have always been taken care of. No matter what has happened, the universe or God has always provided me with the right support. It may not have come the way I thought it would, it may not have come when I thought it would, but it was always there. Secondly, on a personal level, I need to increase my practice. I need to increase my practice of making sure that every time I feel the little roller coaster or the big roller coaster starting off in my mind, I learn to hold my mind in one place, stable, still, focused. And of course, that is the meditation practice that we will do in a few minutes. So it is 7 o'clock. We've done a half an hour simple class. And I'd like to take you through a 15-minute meditation so that we can actually practice being still and stable. Whether or not there is chaos around me, whether or not things are moving, slow, fast, it is my responsibility to keep building up my mental muscle because I never know when I'm going to need to use it. So sit comfortably and just be relaxed for a minute and scan your body. Just take a moment to scan your own body and just relax every single muscle. And once you have scanned the body, relaxed the muscles, I'd like you to come back gently to your breathing. Take a deep breath in, let it out. And slowly allow yourself to come to the present moment. Maybe there are things on your mind even now. Maybe there are issues going on. But just let go. Drop them from your mind. And just allow yourself to come to the present moment and to be with yourself. Allow yourself to be in the here and now. In the here and now, there are no issues, there are no problems. In the here and now, there is me with myself. I choose to be me with myself. I choose to just be in my own company, to let go of thinking of other people and to let go of thinking of situations. I just allow myself to be still. And as I go inside myself, as I make the journey to the core of the soul, the core of my being, there are three main layers that I face, three layers of challenges that get disturbed every time there is a disturbance on the outside. The first layer is the layer of my thinking. Every time the outside world throws a stone at me, throws a challenge at me, throws a problem at me, it's like throwing a stone into a pond and there are ripples. And so my mind also goes into ripples. My mind starts to create more thoughts in reaction to all of these problems. But today, in this moment, I choose to allow my mind to be completely still, like a very still lake, almost like a mirror. And in this moment, if anyone drops a bombshell, someone says something difficult, if I hear some news which is shocking, it's like that stone falling into the lake and sinking to the bottom. Not a single wave, not a single ripple. Because I'm holding my mind still. I'm holding my mind at peace. Knowing that every reaction, response I make from a place of peace will be of very good use to me. There will be clear decisions, clear responses. The second layer I face as I go deep into myself is the layer of my emotions, the programming of emotions that responds to my thinking. So the minute I think, oh my God, what's going to happen? The emotions of anxiety, of fear, of worry, of depression, of abandonment, they come up almost in a flash, so quickly. So in this moment, because I am at peace, because the lake of my mind is still, the only feeling that comes up is a feeling of calm, the feeling of being at peace. I'm at peace with the world, and my heart embraces any change. My heart is ready. My heart is elastic. My heart can manage to hold, to absorb. My heart doesn't break. And the third layer that I face whenever I go deep inside myself, is the layer of past experiences and emotions. And I'd like you to only bring up one memory, one experience, the experience of always being cared for, of always being looked after. That no matter what happens, everything will be okay. There is an almighty source. There is a greater force of good in the universe that will always take care. I do not need to worry or feel disturbed. Whatever happens is for the best. There is no other memory that is active. I only push the button of this one memory. So now, having gone through these 3 layers, I reach the core of my being. I, the inner self, the soul, the spirit, the being within the body, that point of consciousness. And just as a point is contained, I, the being, am still. I come to that point. And I realize that once I've let go of everything on the surface, of all the layers on the outside, then all that remains is this silent, still space. This experience of complete calm, that all will be well. And now, from this place of complete stillness and peace, when I look out at the world, at the changes, the uncertainties, the challenges, they can do nothing to me. Inner stillness means inner power. Inner peace means inner power. And when I am powerful, then nothing in life can affect me. And so the way I build up my inner strength, my capacity to cope, my capacity to face without fear, is coming again and again to this inner space, this inner experience of stillness. Now I'd like you to take a deep breath in, but keep holding this feeling of peace and stillness and silence. Breathe out, and another deep breath in and out. Just feel how your mind is settled and how even your body takes the experience and the vibrations, the energy of peace, which is so good for your health and also allows your body to function well and not be disturbed by the disturbances on the outside. So I hope you enjoyed that meditation as well. And this is the practice that we keep coming back to. Back to stillness, back to the point. It's like being calm in the midst of all the chaos and all the movement around. Okay, so I don't know if you want to ask any questions or make any comments.
Yeah, thank you, sister Sona. So, would anyone like to ask any question relating to today's session or today's meditation? So, feel free to raise your hands and then we can take a couple of questions. You all can even choose to type in the chat window if you feel that is comfortable. Okay, so we have very good responses on the chat. Galaxy S9 mentioning that I experienced great stillness. Someone on iPad is mentioning thank you so much. Lovely thoughts. Okay, so I believe, sisters, so we don't have any questions because probably the session released us or probably gave us solutions to all the questions which we otherwise would have. But yeah, while we are, if still anybody wants to ask anything, feel free to raise your hand and we'll just stay around for another 10 minutes. I know y'all can. So we have Shubhati is mentioning that thank you, sister. Okay, so we have one question, sister. How can I keep the faith without fluctuating?
Sure. So, faith is built up on past experience. This is one thing that I have realized in my life. If there's a saying that my quality of life is based on the quality of my memories. And if my memories, we all have good memories, we all have negative memories. The memories I choose to keep with me, the experiences I choose to keep, they are the ones that actually ultimately create my whole outlook and perception of life. So it's a little bit like, you if you think of things where you kept failing, if you keep of thinking of instances where things didn't go wrong, if you hold that in your mind, what kind of filter are you using when you look at life? If you think about, oh, this person said this to me, that person said that, okay, so they said it. That's their opinion. That's their state of mind. That's their outlook. Whereas if you think to yourself, look, I've got through things in my life. The funny thing is, we make 99 good moves and the one bad move that we make, and we hold that. It's the same for ourselves, it's the same for others. One person makes one mistake. Recently I had an experience. I was with a friend for many months during lockdown, and 7.5 months, we hung around together. And we had such a good time. We had at least 1 or 2 meals together every day. And I made one mistake in her eyes. I don't even believe it's a mistake. After 7 months, she saw me make one mistake. And that affected her so badly. Isn't it interesting, There's a saying in English, what I remember what I should forget, and I forget what I should remember. And I think it's a habit. I think somehow we haven't learned the art of holding on to the good. Hold on to that which is enriching your life. So, in the same way, if the quality of my life is based on the quality of my memories, then, if my memory is of faith, if my memory is of past experiences where things worked, then I'll increase the faith, I'll strengthen the faith. And that is ultimately what will work in my life. And let go of the things that didn't work. Let go of the moments where you felt unsupported, because ultimately something did work. That's why you're here today. I mean, if nothing worked, these phone calls, these sessions are working, aren't they? So give thanks for them. I hope that helps.
Thanks, sister. So we have Vinay raising hand. Would you like to ask
Yes.
question?
Yeah, brother. Could you just repeat in short the three layers? The third layer I missed due to connectivity problem.
Sure, sure. So the
Thank you.
first layer that
Yeah.
gets affected is my thinking. Thinking affects my feelings and emotions. And then that gets recorded as layers of memories. Sometimes what happens is something happens out there. It's like an arrow. It comes and it immediately pierces an old memory. Something that you thought that you had forgotten. From your mind, you forgot it. Emotionally, you forgot it. But it stayed inside your memory. Why? Because you didn't let it go from your memories. You didn't clean it. You didn't, in a way, resolve it. And I think meditation is a way of resolving things at that deepest, deepest level, the layer of your memories. It doesn't mean that you just forget and you say, oh, no, it didn't happen. That's not true. It happened. But I look at it differently. I look at it with the eyes of learning, not with the eyes of holding on to past negativity. I hope that helps. Yeah. Is that what you were
Yeah.
looking for? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Didi. Thank you so much.
Sure. And now I think there's one question that if meditation is good, the whole day is good. When it's not good, then things go wrong and the quality of the day is not so good. Um, so I think, somehow meditation has been seen to be a thing that I do when I just sit, like we just did 15 minutes. But maybe we need to see meditation more as a consciousness, as an awareness that I carry throughout my day. And if you're practicing what I just said, everything is good, everything is okay. If your thoughts are pumping out, your mind is pumping out thoughts in that way throughout the day, even the difficulties that come, this is an interesting thing. Now, this challenge has come to teach me something, you know? So, always keeping an optimistic heart, a very optimistic feeling inside, then I think, that in itself is meditation. You may not have had a very still meditation in the morning. It might have not been the best experience. It doesn't matter. Carry the meditation with you throughout the day and keep that feeling going. And see life with that meditative view. And I think that will help a lot. Okay?
Thank you so much, sister. So let me take a couple of minutes just to have a word with all the participants. So actually, just to introduce myself, I am BK Praful, volunteer from the IT wing, which is a sister concern Rajok Education Research Foundation. So with you on a daily basis, Brother Chandan has been meeting to facilitate these sessions, but today Brother Chandan is out on some medical family emergencies. Hence, I'm here meeting you all. So just to give you all a little background around the feedback which I will be having from you all. Again, the feedback is not from today's session. It is the general series which we have been conducting over past few months. So at the time of lockdown, when the things were really hazy, there were lots of requests that why don't we have daily meditation live sessions so that everybody could benefit. So we started having these meditation sessions since June 2020. And yeah, initially we had many joining, and gradually, as you all know, we the lockdown is about to get over, or most of y'all have even started going to your respective companies. So earlier we were having these sessions daily, and then this month, after 14th, we thought of having it alternative days, because again the volunteers here conducting meditations are also working professionals, most of us. So we really wanted to have feedback from y'all, whether these sessions are really helping y'all. Should we continue these sessions? If we need to continue, what frequency do you wish, or do you feel it would be good for y'all? And yeah, so based on the feedbacks, then we'll have a discussion with the management, the committee who is planning this project, and accordingly then we can communicate with you the future sessions. So it has been a great journey, I believe, from June till October. We are almost it's almost 5 months we have been conducting this project, and today is the last day of the month. So that is the reason we thought of having a quick feedback from you all, so that we really can understand how you take these sessions as. So I'll be displaying a poll on the screen. Just would like you all to answer these questions, so that you know this really uh, helps us uh, uh, helps us communicate the result to the management. So yeah, just give me a moment. I just need to make one change before I really flash on the screen the polls. So I would suggest you all to please come on your phone screen if you all are not on the screen, because you need to answer these poll questions on your screen. So the screen where you see let's meditate, on that screen you will be shortly getting the poll questions. And don't worry, this is anonymous. So I would suggest you all to be honest while as you give the feedback. So the questions now are on your screen. The first question is, how many sessions could you attend in the month of October 2020, the current month? So we had around, I believe 21, 22 sessions. So if you were attending all the 20 or most of the ones, you all can attend 20 plus sessions. And if not, it's okay. 15 to 20 sessions, 10 to 15 sessions, 5 to 10 sessions, or below 5 sessions. So just select the right option which suits you and go ahead. Next question is, how has been your experience of these sessions so far? So you all can choose excellent, very good, good, average, any one of these. Hmm. So the third question, would you like to extend the meditation sessions by 10 more minutes? That is 30 minutes durations. So this is again, we are already having 30-minute sessions, but do you feel that this is sufficient or not? So if yes, you can hit yes. And if you feel 30 minutes is insufficient, you need a shorter session, then you can write no. Which part of India you are belonging to? So Pune, why we have Pune? Because this is where this project is being launched from. But yeah, you could be from Maharashtra or other parts of India, or any other country outside India as well. And the last session is the morning time 7:30 convenient, or do you need change? So at present we are having not 7:30, 6:30, sorry, it's a typo error. 6:30 to 7 is what we are meeting. But yeah, if you feel that this time is not convenient, you all can then just choose no and mention on the chat window what time is suitable for you all. Accordingly, then we can arrange the sessions at that time. So there is another question which I didn't mention here, which I will now request you all to put on the chat window. What is the frequency of these sessions you would really want? Daily, or do you feel that alternative days is okay? At present, we are having it Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Or do you all feel weekends is the option which you will want to go for? Weekdays is really difficult because of office. Uh, because in the IT industry, I understand some of us have to log in to our office networks early morning. Some of us work late night. So again, attending the sessions morning could be challenging. So, so yeah, I just wanted to know feedback around that. Is daily okay, or alternative days or weekends? So you can just put that thing in the chat window, because we don't have that in the poll. So I'll just close the poll. We have around 75% already responding. If you all have not responded, just ensure that you all hit the poll button on your screen, answer the questions, and submit. Submit is very important, and unless you all don't submit, we won't get the responses. So the ones who are attending from YouTube, you all will not see the poll. You all can just choose to write on the comment section, the live chat window, and we will take the feedback from there. Okay, so I'll close the poll. We have almost everyone responding now. So thank you everyone. So I'll quickly share the results. So we have around 46% attending 20 plus sessions, most of them also attending 10 to 15 sessions. We have around 23% attending below 5 sessions. Okay, it could be due to various reasons. Either y'all got introduced to this later, or y'all may be busy. Second question is, how was your experience so far? We have around 70% excellent and 30% very good. That's great. Thanks for that. Uh, Around 60% feel the time is sufficient. 30% feels that time is insufficient. You all can write on the chat window what you all feel should be the ideal time for you all to meditate. We have majority attending from different parts of India, around 30 from Pune and again 15 from Maharashtra. So I believe around 45% from Maharashtra totally, and around 55 from other parts of India. And then we have 85% of y'all having this time convenient. That's great. So thanks for that result. And yeah, thanks, Sister Sona, for joining us. Really appreciate your time. In spite of busy schedule, you are with us. And yeah,
Thank
we will
you.
have you again in future sessions as we plan. And we have very good feedback for your session today. So thanks a lot, sister. And yes, thanks everyone. We have Shubhali mentioning that we need to have every day. Again, Pratiksha mentioning these sessions are okay for every day. Uh, okay, great. We have Mukesh also mentioning every day, Sonali mentioning every day, Vinenda mentioning every day, same time, Sonali mentioning same timing. Galaxy S9 mentions alternative day. Okay. Mahesh daily, 8D daily, Anand daily, Kirti daily, Vinayana daily, Rashmi daily. So, oh my God. So we have about 90% people, 90-95% mentioning daily, just a couple of them alternative. So thanks for the feedback. So I'll just communicate this to the management team. Another feedback I just wanted to all have from on the chat window is, do you feel that these sessions should be live, or is it okay if we play some recorded commentary which you can refer anytime during the day? Uh, if you all are not okay with the morning, anytime during the day, you can just refer to those recorded commentaries. So what is your uh, take on that? Yes, live or recorded? So just respond that. Rashmi says live, AD says live, Mahesh says live. Okay. Okay, so all of them are having the feel of live. Okay, that's great. Thanks. Thanks for that. So Shubhati says alternative day life. Yeah, that's also great idea. So thanks a lot for those wonderful suggestions. So I believe you all are there in our mailing list, and if not, we will communicate to you all the frequency of these sessions in the coming month. Again, the coming month is a festive month, so I believe most of us will be busy. But if, in spite of we being busy, I believe removing 30 minutes from a busy schedule should not be a real challenge for most of us. So yeah, uh, we will definitely take your feedback, communicate to other team, and whatever we decide, we will communicate to you all. Thanks again, all of you all, for tuning in. I know it's beyond 7:30. I wanted to have a couple of verbal feedbacks as well, but since we are running out of time, we will definitely have that uh, in later point of time. So thank you all for joining in, tuning in, and yeah, we will keep you updated on the future upcoming sessions. Have a great Saturday, have a great weekend, and hope to meet all of you all soon. Om Shanti.